Hey everyone, this week I want to show you a really cool park out on Long Island. In fact, whenever I am in these parts of Long Island, I always try to stop by, and it's called Heckscher Park in Huntington. The park itself is probably around 30 miles or so from my home, so it's not like I come here every week on a regular basis for fun or anything like that. However, this week I came because there were a few things I needed to get done in the area, and then I figured at the same time I can show this cool place to you since now I am sort of part-time YouTuber, I guess. So maybe some of you have been following me along on this channel, and so you know in the last 2 weeks I mentioned that it was the end of the spring semester for me, and in fact it was a tremendously busy time and I was really overworked. And all of that is absolutely true. However, now the summer finally began, and I only teach one course which is fully online. Therefore, I will have a bit more time to show you some amazing places in and around New York City that I always wanted to do for a while, but I simply never had the time to do so, hopefully until now. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like I will be kicking back and enjoying a few weeks off doing nothing, as my schedule is still pretty filled and busy, from teaching that one course online to finally, hopefully, finishing up some of my research projects. For instance, a few months ago, I made videos about my trip to Poland and Hoover Institute, and all of those projects are still not completed. I did not submit it to publication yet. And so that is really my goal for the summer, to hopefully finish it or come extremely close to finishing it and hopefully sending it off somewhere for publication. Because again, at the end of the day, I just really want to make sure that all of that research and time spent on those projects is not wasted. Not to mention, there are a lot of projects that I need to do around my house, and this is really what brought me here to this part of Long Island. I simply need to work on some things around the house, finally, after a few months of never having the time to do so. And even though there's plenty of stores around my house in New York City, I always felt like stores here out on Long Island have a lot more variety and options. And again, it might just be my bias. I guess it depends on what you are buying and what you need, but I simply preferred shopping out here. So the first trip is to Home Depot for some paint and few items along the way. And by the way, doing so, I came across this cool thing. Now, do I have a need for a $200 empty oak barrel? Well, no, but it's just an example of things you probably will not find in a typical Home Depot in New York City. And hence, it's an example of why I prefer shopping for certain things out on Long Island. Next, we are off to Harbor Freight for some lights to finish up those projects that I'm working on. And after all of that, one more place that I simply have to go to. It's one of my favorite thrift shops here in this part of Long Island because, well, you see, sometimes you may get really cool and rare books at places like this. For instance, I already got few books from this location which are really awesome. Like this one, Adolf Hitler, Pictures from the Life of the Führer. A translation from 1936 edition, and we have some names responsible for the book like Hermann Göring, Joseph Goebbels, Albert Speer. What a collection of names. But it does have really amazing pictures and information. Or this book from the 1960s, The Age of Exploration. Again, a pretty rare find detailing the voyages of Christopher Columbus and others. And on this trip, check this out. I found this book. Therefore, if you want to find some rare and cool books, definitely do not underestimate thrift shops, as you can find some really great items sometimes, as people donate books to places like these for all sorts of reasons. So that is really what brought me to this part of Long Island, as all these stores are basically next to one another. And now at the same time, I can do a YouTube video and show you this park and really take you along for a ride with me. In the park, there is a Heckscher Museum of Art, and it's been a while since I myself have been inside it, probably at least like 5-6 years ago, the last time I was inside, but you can view their collections online. And that is so great that these days, many museums and archives offer a lot of their content and collections online. So access to some of it is easier than ever before. And not to mention, around the park there are also some art pieces and items to look at as well. Next to the museum, we have a beautiful September 11, 2001 memorial, which is dedicated to the residents of the town that died due to the terrorist attacks. And as you walk down this path, there is like a small waterfall at the end, which really creates an atmosphere of reflection and tranquility. There is also a stage, the Chapin Rainbow Stage, where there are a lot of events organized, especially in the summer, things like concerts. But check out this lake, what's called the Crystal Lake, with gushing water in multiple places, creating a really gorgeous atmosphere. If you look closely, there is plenty of life, like fish for instance. Turtles, oh, there is one enjoying his swim right there. Birds flying around you, it's really, really nice. Oh, and there is always plenty of geese and ducks, and they became fairly accustomed to people because they will stand in your way like you owe them money. So since I didn't have any food on me, let's go around these guys so that I do not get beaten up. The park and the museum itself is named in honor of August Heckscher, who was born in Germany in 1848. He moved to the United States in his teens and eventually set up a very successful mining companies in terms of things like zinc and iron. Later in his life, he became a philanthropist, donating very large sums of money for various projects around the city. In fact, he established the first playground in Central Park in the 1920s, which is named in his honor and is located not far away from Columbus Circle and 59th Street. He is also responsible for this park here and the museum as well. And even on the other side of Long Island, there is Heckscher State Park. So his name and legacy can still be seen and felt in many places around the city and out on Long Island. So again, it is certainly a very beautiful park to visit and enjoy a walk or even a run around the lake. So if anyone is in the area, I always highly recommend this park. However, when it comes to this area and Huntington, I will try to show you more in the future. As for instance, if you drive up just a little bit further, there is another park, Mill Dam Park. And aside from a nice, beautiful marina with endless boats inside, there are also some important and really fascinating historical places around the park itself, which I would love to show you more in the future. And not far away, there is one well, two really interesting places which I will try to make videos on during the summer. Therefore, if you enjoy these little walks like this and a bit of like historical background information behind them, definitely stay tuned, as I will try to always make some interesting content and try new things. I certainly began enjoying this YouTube life, even though it is exhausting sometimes and not easy to make these videos. But honestly, those that do watch it, if I am able to share some of this with people who are interested and find the information useful, it's a really nice feeling. At the same time, I'll be honest, it allowed me to sort of reconnect back to the city. As for the last few years, my life was really like on autopilot with work and different responsibilities. This YouTube channel allowed me to once again sort of stop my busy life and enjoy and appreciate the things around me a lot more. I feel like on some level, it really sort of grounded me into just realizing that sometimes the problems that I have or the things I worry about are not a big deal. And ultimately, life is just too short to sometimes just worry about nonsense. So thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next week. Bye.